Did you know that by the time most people reach 80, they've lost up to 50% of their muscle mass compared to their younger years? This condition, known as sarcopenia, affects over 50 million seniors worldwide. It quietly robs millions of their independence, leading to a staggering 300,000 hospitalizations each year due to falls caused by muscle weakness. The truly shocking part? Research from the Journal of Physiology reveals that this massive muscle loss is not inevitable. While many 70-year-olds struggle to climb stairs or get up from a chair without help, there is an extraordinary group of seniors who maintain the muscle strength, function, and even appearance of people decades younger. These super-agers often outperform individuals half their age in strength tests. They continue to hike mountains, play sports, and live completely independent lives well into their 90s. So, what's their secret? Scientists at the Mayo Clinic have discovered specific habits that can dramatically slow and even reverse age-related muscle loss. These are habits that 93% of seniors have no idea about. And the most critical habit, the one that researchers at Harvard Medical School found can rebuild lost muscle even in your 70s and 80s, is something most doctors never even mention to their older patients. In fact, many doctors still give advice that directly contradicts what science now shows is essential for maintaining strength as we age. Stay with us until the end, because habit number 1 is something you might be doing wrong every single day. It's a common mistake that triggers genetic pathways that speed up muscle deterioration. Correcting this simple habit could be the difference between thriving independently or relying on others in your later years. But before we dive in, drop a comment below and let us know where you're watching from. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more valuable tips like this. Now, let's get into it. Habit number 7, hormetic stressors. This one's pretty surprising, especially when you consider how it goes against what we typically think of as healthy aging. Habit number 7 is all about exposing the body to certain forms of stress, known as hormetic stressors. Now, you might be thinking, stress? Isn't that the last thing I need? But hold on, because this is a game changer. Hormesis is a term that refers to beneficial effects triggered by exposure to low doses of stressors that would normally be harmful at higher levels. In simple terms, it's the idea that what doesn't kill you might actually make you stronger, especially when it comes to your muscles. Research from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging has shown that short controlled exposures to specific stressors activate cellular protection mechanisms. These mechanisms not only help preserve muscle, but they can actually enhance its function and promote growth, even in people well into their 80s. So, what are these stressors, and how can they work for you? The first hormetic stressor is temperature variation. Super-agers regularly expose themselves to cold and heat, and the benefits are remarkable. For example, taking a cold shower or doing a cold plunge for just 30 to 60 seconds can activate brown fat, increase mitochondrial biogenesis, and trigger a hormone called adiponectin, which helps protect muscle tissue from breaking down. On the flip side, heat exposure, like using a sauna or soaking in a hot bath, activates heat shock proteins. These proteins help repair damaged muscle cells and prevent muscle protein from degrading. In fact, a study from Finland found that people who use the sauna regularly, 4 to 7 times a week, experienced 40% less muscle loss over a 10-year period compared to those who didn't. The second hormetic stressor is intermittent fasting, or time-restricted eating. By eating within an 8 to 10 hour window each day, Super-agers trigger a process called autophagy. This is when the body cleans out damaged cells and parts, which helps improve muscle quality. Research from the Salk Institute showed that this practice can enhance muscle mitochondrial function by up to 10% in just 12 weeks, even without losing any weight. Finally, the third hormetic stressor involves brief, intense muscle contractions. Super-agers regularly engage in an exercise called overcoming isometrics. This involves pushing or pulling on immovable objects, like a wall or heavy ropes. These exercises are tough, but they activate deep muscle fibers, helping to maintain and strengthen muscle mass. So, even though the idea of stress sounds counterintuitive, it's actually a key habit for maintaining muscle strength and function as we age. If you want to keep your muscles strong and healthy well into your later years, adding these hormetic stressors to your routine could make a world of difference. For maximum results, these brief but intense muscle contractions should last for just 5 to 10 seconds. These short bursts of effort send powerful signals to muscle cells, telling them to maintain their size and function without causing unnecessary strain on the joints. What makes these stressors so effective is their intermittent nature. They need to be short, followed by plenty of recovery time. When done correctly, these controlled stressors activate longevity genes like leptin and FOXA, which specifically help preserve muscle tissue as we age. If you're considering adding these practices to your routine, start small and gradually build tolerance. Remember, the goal is mild, beneficial stress, not overwhelming your system. Habit number 6, strategic protein timing. Most seniors focus on how much protein they eat, but research is revealing that when you consume, it might be even more important. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using protein, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who spread their protein intake throughout the day, rather than cramming it all into one meal, which many tend to do, experience better muscle health. Here's the critical part. After eating, your muscles have a window of opportunity for protein synthesis that lasts for about 3 to 4 hours. If you eat all your protein at dinner, like most seniors do, you're missing out on valuable muscle-building chances throughout the day. The ideal approach is to aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal, spaced evenly throughout the day. This means breakfast should include protein-rich foods like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie, not just toast or cereal. At lunch and dinner, continue this pattern with lean meats, fish, dairy, or plant-based proteins like beans and lentils for vegetarians. This timing strategy alone can increase muscle protein synthesis by up to 25%, compared to eating the same amount of protein spread over fewer meals. In fact, participants in a 12-week University of Texas study who followed this approach gained an average of 1.2 pounds of muscle, even without any changes to their exercise routine. So, it's not just about how much protein you eat. It's about when you eat it. Spread your intake across the day to maximize muscle growth and keep your body strong as you age. It's not just about how much protein you eat. It's when you eat it that makes the real difference in whether your muscles grow stronger or continue to waste away. Timing is everything when it comes to muscle preservation and growth. Habit number: vitamin D. Optimization. Did you know that over 80% of seniors are deficient in what researchers now call the muscle vitamin, vitamin D? This deficiency is becoming an epidemic among older adults, and it's quietly sabotaging their strength. So, why does this matter? Well, vitamin D is not just crucial for bone health, as many people think. Researchers at Harvard discovered that vitamin D directly activates genes responsible for muscle protein synthesis and growth. Your muscle cells actually have specific receptors for vitamin D. When these receptors are activated, they trigger pathways that build and preserve muscle tissue. But here's the truly surprising part. A groundbreaking study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% more muscle strength than those with deficiencies. They also had significantly better balance, coordination, and reaction time, key factors that help prevent falls and injuries. Super-agers, those who maintain youthful strength well into their 80s, almost always have optimal vitamin D levels, above 40 nanograms per milliliter. In contrast, the average senior's vitamin D level is below 20 nanograms per milliliter, which is considered deficient. So, how can you optimize your vitamin D levels? While sunlight exposure is one way to get vitamin D, it becomes less effective as we age. By the time we're 65, our skin produces 50% less vitamin D from sunlight compared to when we were 20. This means most seniors need supplementation, but the standard recommendation of 600 international units, IU, per day is far too low. Research suggests that most seniors need between 2,000 to 4,000 IU daily to reach optimal levels, though this should be personalized based on blood tests. Along with supplementation, you can boost your vitamin D intake by eating foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy products. If possible, try to get 15 to 20 minutes of direct midday sun exposure. Here's one important warning. Vitamin D works synergistically with vitamin K2, so be sure to include both in your diet for optimal results. Vitamin K2 helps direct vitamin D to the right places in your body, ensuring it supports your muscle and bone health as effectively as possible. By optimizing your vitamin D levels, you're taking a critical step in preserving and even enhancing your muscle strength as you age. Vitamin K2 plays a crucial role in directing calcium to your bones, rather than allowing it to accumulate in your arteries. Without adequate K2, which is found in fermented foods and certain animal products, high-dose vitamin D supplementation could potentially contribute to arterial calcification. This essential relationship between vitamins D and K2 is often overlooked, but it could make a significant difference in the results you experience. Be sure to ask your doctor for a vitamin D blood test to check your current levels and aim to optimize them above 40 nanograms per milliliter for maximum muscle preservation. Habit number 4, daily inflammation management. So, what do super-agers with exceptional muscle strength all have in common? Remarkably low levels of inflammation. Scientists now know that chronic low-grade inflammation, often referred to as inflammaging, is one of the primary causes of muscle loss in seniors. This silent inflammatory process activates pathways that break down muscle protein faster than the body can rebuild it. Even worse, inflammation blocks anabolic signals that would usually stimulate muscle growth after exercise or protein consumption. A landmark study from Tufts University found that seniors with the highest inflammation markers lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with lower levels, regardless of how much exercise or protein they consumed. So, what can you do to manage inflammation? Super-agers who maintain youthful muscle strength follow specific anti-inflammatory strategies that most seniors overlook. First, they prioritize sleep quality. Getting 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep in a completely darkened room is crucial. Sleep deprivation increases inflammatory cytokines by up to 40%, which directly accelerates muscle breakdown. Second, they're meticulous about gut health. Recent research from the University of California found that age-related changes in gut bacteria directly contribute to systemic inflammation. Super-agers tend to consume a diverse range of fiber sources each day, aiming for 30 or more different plant-based foods, including fruits, vegetables, and legumes, to support a healthy gut microbiome. Managing inflammation is key to maintaining muscle strength and preventing muscle loss as you age. Prioritize these habits to keep your body's inflammatory response in check and continue building and preserving muscle. Fermented foods, like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut, which contain natural probiotics, are also a key part of the diet for super-agers. These foods help maintain a healthy gut microbiome, which is essential for controlling inflammation. Third, super-agers are strategic about their exercise intensity. While consistent movement is crucial for muscle health, excessive high-intensity exercise can actually increase inflammation in seniors. Instead, super-agers typically exercise at moderate intensity most days, with short bursts of high-intensity activity just 1 or 2 times a week. Finally, they incorporate specific anti-inflammatory compounds into their diet on a regular basis, particularly omega-3 fatty acids, 2 to 3 grams daily, from fatty fish or supplements, curcumin from turmeric, and polyphenol-rich foods like berries, green tea, and extra virgin olive oil. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that this combination of compounds reduced inflammatory markers by up to 29% in just 12 weeks. To monitor your own inflammation levels, consider getting a simple blood test that measures high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, hsCRP. Super-agers typically maintain levels below 1.0 milligrams per liter, while the average senior tends to have levels 3 to 5 times higher. Managing inflammation is critical to preserving muscle strength and function as you age. Habit number 3, taking specific vitamins daily. While much of the nutritional advice focuses on macronutrients like protein, carbs, and fats, super-agers who maintain exceptional muscle strength pay close attention to specific micronutrients that directly support muscle function and protein synthesis. These critical nutrients act as enablers, helping your body fully utilize the protein you consume and maximizing the benefits of exercise. Without them, you might eat plenty of protein and work out regularly, yet still experience muscle loss. The first essential micronutrient is magnesium. Researchers at the University of Vermont refer to magnesium as the forgotten electrolyte when it comes to muscle health. Over 70% of seniors are deficient in this mineral, which is required for over 300 enzymatic reactions related to muscle function. A 2021 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors with optimal magnesium levels had 30% greater grip strength and significantly better overall muscle function. Magnesium plays a vital role in helping muscles contract and relax properly, so it's critical to ensure you're getting enough through your diet or supplements. Magnesium-rich foods include leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Make sure to prioritize these micronutrients to help your muscles thrive and maintain their strength as you age. Super-agers typically consume magnesium-rich foods daily, such as dark, leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate. They also often supplement with highly bioavailable forms of magnesium, like magnesium glycinate or magnesium threonate, to ensure maximum absorption. This consistent intake of magnesium helps support muscle function and improves physical performance. Studies show that even mild deficiencies in magnesium can significantly affect muscle strength and performance, which is why it's so crucial to keep these levels optimized. Next on the list is creatine, a supplement that's not just for young bodybuilders. Research from McMaster University has shown that creatine supplementation in seniors increases muscle mass, strength, and even cognitive function, significantly more than strength training alone. A daily dose of 3 to 5 grams can boost muscular energy production and water content in muscle cells, creating an anabolic environment that supports muscle growth. Another often overlooked nutrient is methylated B12. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 decreases dramatically due to reduced stomach acid. Even more concerning, common medications like metformin and proton pump inhibitors can further deplete this essential vitamin. A deficiency in B12 can negatively impact muscle energy production and nerve function. Super-agers typically supplement with methylcobalamin, the active form of B12, rather than the cheaper cyanocobalamin, found in most multivitamins. Equally important are trace minerals like zinc, selenium, and chromium, which directly support protein synthesis and insulin sensitivity, crucial factors for delivering nutrients to muscle tissue. A comprehensive study from Tufts University found that seniors with optimal levels of these trace minerals maintained up to 22% more muscle mass over a 5-year period compared to those with deficiencies. Rather than relying on a one-size-fits-all multivitamin, super-agers typically undergo micronutrient testing to identify their specific deficiencies and supplement accordingly. This personalized approach ensures they are addressing their unique biochemical needs rather than wasting money on nutrients they don't require. Habit number 2, preserving your neuromuscular junctions. Here's something fascinating that most people don't consider when thinking about muscle strength: preserving your neuromuscular junctions. This is where the nerves connect to the muscles, allowing them to contract and function properly. As we age, these connections can deteriorate, which directly impacts muscle strength and function. Super-agers make it a priority to preserve these junctions, ensuring their muscles continue to function at their best. We'll dive into how to do that and why it's crucial for maintaining strength as we get older. Most seniors never hear about the critical role neuromuscular junctions play in muscle health. Muscle loss isn't just about the muscle fibers themselves. It's often the connection between your nerves and muscles that deteriorates first. These connections, called neuromuscular junctions, are like the electrical outlets that power your muscles. When they start to break down, a process that accelerates dramatically after age 60, your brain struggles to effectively communicate with your muscles. This can happen regardless of how much protein you consume or how often you exercise. Groundbreaking research from the University of Michigan found that super-agers with exceptional strength maintain remarkably well-preserved neuromuscular junctions compared to typical seniors. Even more exciting, scientists have discovered specific practices that can help preserve or even restore these vital connections. The first practice involves engaging in movement patterns that require precision and coordination. Activities like Tai Chi, dance, tennis, or even ping pong have been shown to strengthen the neural pathways to muscles in ways that simple walking or traditional strength training cannot. These activities force your nervous system to recruit muscle fibers in precise patterns, reinforcing the neuromuscular junctions. A 2020 study, published in the Journal of Physiology, found that seniors who engaged in coordination-demanding activities twice a week had 31% better preservation of neuromuscular junctions compared to those who only performed conventional exercises. The second practice involves compounds that specifically support neuromuscular health. Alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl L-carnitine have been shown to protect the nerve-muscle connection from oxidative damage. Even more promising are certain forms of vitamin B1, particularly benfotiamine and huperzine A compound derived from Chinese club moss, which can enhance acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter responsible for activating your muscles. Super-agers also incorporate specific breathing practices that activate the vagus nerve, which helps regulate the brain-body connection, further supporting neuromuscular health. By including these practices, super-agers are able to preserve and even enhance their neuromuscular junctions, ensuring their muscles remain strong and functional well into their later years. Maximum effort just a few times a week gained significantly more muscle mass and strength than those who focused on longer, low-intensity workouts. The key isn't about spending hours in the gym. It's about pushing your muscles to the point where they're truly challenged. Super-agers understand that their muscles need progressive resistance to stay strong. As we age, our muscles lose their ability to grow unless they're consistently pushed beyond their comfort zone. But intensity isn't just about lifting the heaviest weights possible. It's about gradually increasing the challenge in a safe and controlled manner. Super-agers typically work in a range that's just enough to push their muscles without causing injury. This can mean lifting heavier weights, increasing the number of repetitions, or even using resistance bands or machines that offer progressive resistance as their strength improves. Another key element of this approach is ensuring proper recovery time. Super-agers don't overtrain. They allow their muscles the time they need to rebuild stronger, often giving themselves a full day or two between sessions to recover. This rest period is when muscle growth actually happens, as the body repairs the microscopic tears created during resistance training. Research consistently shows that progressive resistance training, when done right, not only helps seniors retain muscle mass, but also enhances bone density, improves balance, and boosts overall physical function. By incorporating this habit into their routine, super-agers manage to maintain the strength and vitality of someone decades younger. So, if you want to age with strength and independence, progressive resistance training is the single most effective tool you can use. It's not about the number of years you've lived, but about how you challenge and care for your muscles as they age. Accelerate, leading to weakness, frailty, and an increased risk of falls and fractures. Many seniors avoid resistance training out of fear, or because they believe it's only for younger people. But the truth is, the longer you delay engaging in progressive resistance training, the harder it becomes to maintain your strength and independence. The earlier you start, the more you can preserve and even build muscle mass. It's also important to address that progressive resistance training doesn't mean lifting the heaviest weights possible. For many seniors, this simply involves starting with manageable loads and gradually increasing the intensity as strength improves. The key is to focus on the intensity and challenge your muscles in a safe, controlled way. Super-agers understand that resistance training isn't just about physical strength. It's about maintaining the functional ability to move, perform daily tasks, and stay independent as they age. The impact of strength training on cognitive function and overall health cannot be overstated. In fact, strength training has been shown to have a positive effect on brain health, as it promotes the release of growth factors that enhance neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. So, if you're a senior or working with older adults, remember that progressive resistance training is a critical component of healthy aging. Start small, challenge your muscles, and watch your strength, health, and quality of life improve dramatically. That wraps up our look at the 7 key habits that can help seniors maintain exceptional strength well into their 80s. Remember, aging doesn't have to mean losing muscle or independence. By adopting just a few of these habits, you can make a lasting impact on your health and well-being. Now, it's your turn. Which of these habits stood out to you? Maybe you've already been practicing some of them, or perhaps one of them was a real eye-opener. We'd love to hear your thoughts, stories, and any experiences you have with older adults who defy the usual expectations of aging. Share with us in the comments below, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insightful videos just like this one. Thanks for watching, and take charge of your health today. It's never too late to start.